Hi everybody, welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. I live in a little town in New Hampshire, which is in the Northeast, and I love to make cards, I love to share cards, and I love to help other people make cards. And so today I thought I would show you a pumpkin kind of card that I've been having fun making, and I thought you might like it too. It is Thursday, September 19th. It's about 4 o'clock. I would love it if you say hi if you're watching with me live, or if you're watching the replay, please leave me a comment. It always makes my day to know that people are watching and I'm not just talking to myself. All right, so I'm going to make my other camera bigger and we will get started. Okay, so we are going to make this pumpkin card with something a little bit different. We're going to use this bee punch, this little one that makes the bee's body. I've seen other people use it kind of like a speech bubble. Well, we're going to use that to create a pumpkin in a few minutes. Hi, Jan. But before we do that, I'm going to put a little bit of the card together and just get some of these pieces out of my way so I have a little bit more room. So we're going to use a wild wheat card base, and this is just 5¼ or 5½ by 8½, and I've scored it at 4¼ And then I have a piece of black paper that is 3¾ by 5. And then a little bit of patterned paper that is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that's 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And I'm going to glue these together. This paper is from the Regal Winters, I think it's called, paper. It goes with the Regal Flora suite and bundle. It is so beautiful. I love all the different patterns. I've only used a couple so far. Once I cut one, I like, oh, I want to use that again. So I made a different card with this for my Zoom class on Tuesday night. So I'm just going to center this here. And then in a little bit, we're going to put this on. And I'm going to ask you guys to decide whether when it's time for the sentiment, should it be on Basic Beige, or should it be on, let's take that out, Wild Wheat, or Basic White. So you can think about that a little now if you want, but we will come back to that. All right, hi Joanne. So I have some scraps of crumb cake paper here that I've cut these to about 1½, because that lets me slide the paper into here. I don't need these hearts, so I don't need to have paper on that part and punch those out and have them flying all over the place. So I need 3 pumpkins. One, let's get rid of that. 2, and 3. Okay, so our pumpkin, we're going to make it by putting 3 of these pumpkins together. Now our pumpkin doesn't usually have 3 stems, so I'm going to cut the stem off of 2 of these. Okay. And so eventually it will go like this, but we have to dress this pumpkin up a little bit. I'm going to trim the point off the stem and just go at a bit of an angle, and we'll color that stem at some point, but the pumpkin needs a little, like I said, a little dressing up. So I have some at the end. I'm going to show you a couple of cards that I used this Timber 3D embossing folder for. But I thought, since this paper has flowers on it, I might use a floral embossing folder to put a little pattern on these pumpkins. And in fact, I think I'm going to cut 3 more because I want to try something else with them. And if I don't like it, I'll have, hi Pam, I hope you're feeling stronger and better every day. This way I'll have lots of pieces of pumpkin ready to go. Of course, I need 1 more piece, so I'm just running over here to find another piece, another scrap of crumb cake. Okay, so I'm going to put 6 in here. We can always trim those stems off later. Whoops. So I'm laying them down on the back because I want them all to be going kind of in the same orientation. If I tried to hold them in on the front, they'd all move around and get squished up. So I'm going to run this through my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And when I use this thick kind of 3D embossing folder, I just use the thick base underneath and this gray embossing folder plate on top. Hi Cheryl, you're not late. We just are getting into it right now. So we're using the bee punch to make some pumpkins. And I was really happy about this because I like making these kinds of pumpkins, and the oval punch is not available anymore, and we don't have oval dies anymore. So I was happy that I saw this. There was a demonstrator, another demonstrator did this on Demonstrator Planning Place, and I tried to find it today so I could tell you who it was and give her credit, but of course I couldn't find it. So I cut off the points on 2 more pumpkins, and I'm going to just do that one at a bit of an angle. Now I still want to add a little bit more of something to them. So I'm going to use light pecan pie to just make the stem a little darker. Make that stand out. And then you can see on this one, here's one that I did do with the Timber embossing folder. And I tried to, I inked it up a little bit with crumb cake ink, but I wasn't crazy about the color that the crumb cake came out. You can't see it too much on the camera, but it was a little, it had a greenish tinge to it, and I didn't like that. So I'm going to try early espresso, but I am worried that it might be, it's dark. So I'm going to put some ink on my dauber, take some ink off, and I'm going to try to just go lightly. But I feel like the edges need a little definition. We'll see. This is why we're doing 2, because if I don't like this, I might go back to the crumb cake. And you might wonder why I'm making my pumpkins in crumb cake, and I'm really not sure. Hi, Jackie, except that I liked it with this paper, and I like crumb cake in black, and I just thought we could do it in different colors. So let's take a peek at this. So the way I put these together is I'm going to line them up on my grid paper right here, and I just overlap them a little bit with a tad of glue. And I also angle them a little bit so that they're a little wider at the bottom, not a lot, but a little wider at the bottom than they are at the top. And then I'm also going to put this one on, but I'm going to use dimensionals to pop up the middle piece. Do any of you have the bee punch? It comes in pretty handy if you do. Okay, so there's our, whoops, that's a little bit crooked. There's our cute little pumpkin right there. What do you think? Do you like it with the early espresso? I'll show you with the crumb cake as well. But now I've put early espresso on my dauber. Let's get that off as much as we can. I'll use my little microfiber cloth. All right, so this is a crumb cake ink pad. Hi, Courtney. And we're getting kind of, I think, a combination of crumb cake and early espresso because it's looking a little darker than the other one, but maybe that's okay. And you can tell me which pumpkin you like better. The one with the early espresso or with the crumb cake with a little early espresso left over on the dauber. And we'll put that one together. All right, so a little glue where they're going to overlap. And then I'm going to tip it in just a little and pop this one on dimensionals. Nobody with the bee punch in this group, huh? Well, you might have to get it. It's a fun little punch. Has nice hearts on it too for Valentine's Day. Okay, so there are our two pumpkins. One's a little bit darker than the other, early espresso and crumb cake. I'm going to put a little bow with some baker's twine. The baker's twine comes in a pack with a few different colors. I believe this is a crumb cake color of baker's twine. I really wanted to use the black and white checked ribbon, which is very, very cute on there, but it's bulky on the pumpkins because the pumpkins are a little bit bulky. So I thought baker's twine would be better. Oh, I'm a little twisted here. Let's see. Courtney likes the crumb cake better. Jolynn says no bee punch. Well, I know where you can borrow one, Joanne. Let's see if I can. My fingers have a little glue on them at this point, which makes this a little tricky. Okay, so I'm going to roll up a glue dot and put that little bow on. You can see I've rolled it up, squished it up a little bit. I'm going to do both of these and give you a chance to see them on the card. I'm guessing they don't look that much different on the camera, and so it doesn't really matter which one I use. Oh, I'm not going to put a bow on that one because I have another idea. Okay, so I think I'll put, this is a banner cut with one of the banner dies from Nested Essentials. I love these. And I could put it, I think I'll put it up. Well, I don't know. I might move it down because I'm going to use this punch, I believe is retired, but it has a little ribbon slit that it cuts. And I'm thinking I could make the knot of that. What do you think? That will fit right in there. And then put the pumpkins on. This is the crumb cake that has a little early espresso on it. And now we need to do a, whoops, none of that. We need to do a sentiment either on the basic beige or the wild wheat or white. I know what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Yeah, Joanne, I think I agree. I like the checkered ribbon too. That is one of my all-time favorite ribbons. I really like that checkered ribbon. I use it a lot. Cheryl says wild wheat. Okay, wild wheat it is. So for my sentiment, I grabbed my So Sincere stamp set and going to use the So Thankful for You. Oh, Courtney's saying basic beige. All right, I might have to stamp my sentiment on both of these and see which one. I'm using early espresso for the ink, and I'm stamping it to one side because I'm going to kind of hide that end underneath. All right, let's get these taken care of. I think I'll put this on dimensionals. It will make it easier to slide my sentiment under. So my sentiment's going to slide under that side. So I'm not going to put a dimensional over there. I'm going to leave it open a little. And I'm going to pull these off. There we go. And put that over to the side a little. I'll get a glue dot. Whoops, I have stuck a glue dot to the side of my sponge dauber. Wow, it did not want to come off of that. And I'm going to try to stick that right into that hole a little bit so that it won't be quite so lumpy. It looks really cute there. And then we'll put, I have something stuck to my finger. We'll put our pumpkins on here. I don't know. Anyone else think it needs a little more? Just a tad more color. Just a tad. Okay. We'll put that right on there. All right, you guys are going to have to duke it out between basic beige and wild wheat. I'm going to give you one more chance. So we have basic beige, a little brighter, a little lighter, or wild wheat. I see a beige. I'm going to think about some bling while we wait and see. I have some gold bling, and I have some wild wheat bling, I think. Let's see what we have over here. Those are the pecan pie. Either, but not the white. Oh, Cheryl changed to basic beige. Courtney changed to wild wheat. Joanne says either. Well, I'm going to have to make a decision. All right, there's that one. There's that one. I think, oh goodness, I don't know. I think either one really would work, but I think I'm going to go with the wild wheat. A wild wheat. So thankful for you. Let's put that on. Sorry, basic beige folks. It does look great. I think it would work with either one. And then these are the 2023-2025 in color opaque sparkle dots. And I have some wild wheat ones. Oh no, I'm really thinking I wish I had something a little darker. What do you guys think? I have to walk over here to look at my mess of embellishments. Courtney always tells me to color my pearls. Oh, Courtney was thinking a little wild wheat behind there. Yeah, that would have worked too, Courtney. Whoa. I'm going to color a couple of these pearls. I found an older package of pearls. We're packaging them a little differently, but I have this older pack that I want to use up. I'm going to color a few of those and see how those look. Yeah, I think that's what I want. A couple of these. They're tiny, but just a little bit of color. And I think I'll put one up there. All right, so let's get some of this mess out of the way here. My camera is moving. I'm sorry. I'm falling a little bit. There we go. So I used pearls and I colored them with my black Stampin' Blend. I think it's just called Basic Dark Basic Black, and put a couple of those on there. So I didn't do anything on the inside. I wanted to focus on the pumpkins. So let me show you a couple of other ones that I made. So I did make some orange pumpkins also. I was into the crumb cake and the black today. And so this one is peach pie. And I used peach pie ink and the Timber 3D embossing folder, and just stamped a little background here on that with crumb cake, and that's with a Regal, the leaf from the Regal Flora stamp set. And then I was having fun. I was like, well, what other paper do I have that has fall colors or pumpkin-y colors? And so this is one of the To Market papers, I think. And so I used the crumb cake and peach pie and some garden green on this one. And same sentiment on all of these. And made those pumpkins. So they were really quick and easy to make using that bee punch. You probably, I wanted to check this real quick and I forgot to do it. I don't know if anyone has the double oval punch anymore, but my paper's not quite the right size there. Let's see if I can punch out a few of these and see if this would work. I think you would get a taller, thinner pumpkin, and you'd have to make your own stem somehow on this and maybe overlap it just a little bit more. But you could make a tall, thin pumpkin with that. And let's see about the smaller oval. What would happen if you used that one? 1, 2. Look at that. Here's a happy accident. Well, it doesn't quite work. I was thinking you could use those as the sides. One more. You could make this shape pumpkin with the smaller ones. And you can leave them plain like that. I like them texturized with an embossing folder, giving them a little bit of interest with that. But still, even just adding a little ink to the edges makes a difference on those lines. So look in your stash, see what you have that you might be able to use to make some pumpkins. Whoops, I don't like that view. There we go. All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're inspired to try something. I'm going to try to finish up a couple more cards with these oval pumpkins I've just created. And I'll post them and show them to you in a little. I should show you my hands in a little bit. I'm just adding some stuff right there. So have a great rest of your Thursday night. And on Sunday, I'll be having a virtual catalog launch with This Must Be Ink, Michelle Solis, and we'll be online here on Facebook and on our YouTube a lot of the day on Sunday, like from 10 to 2, I think. So see if you can pop in and watch us. We'd really appreciate that. All right. Thanks very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.